Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Artificial Fluency. I'm your host, John, and with me as always is my insightful co-host, Emma.
Hello, everyone. Today, we're tackling a crucial topic that affects many of our listeners in Southern California.
That's right, Emma. Today we're discussing the ongoing fire situation in Los Angeles and, more importantly, how our community can stay safe and prepared.
This is especially timely given the recent developments. Let's start by helping our listeners understand what's happening on the ground.
For those who haven't been following the news closely, we're seeing significant fire activity in several areas around Los Angeles County. The combination of dry conditions, high temperatures, and strong Santa Ana winds has created particularly challenging circumstances.
I'd like to break down why these conditions are so dangerous. When we combine low humidity, high temperatures, and strong winds, we create what firefighters call the fire triangle.
Think of it this way. The dry conditions make vegetation more flammable, high temperatures help fires spread more quickly, and winds not only carry embers to new areas, but also supply oxygen to fuel the flames.
Now, let's get to what our listeners really need to know: how to prepare themselves and their families.
The key to fire safety is having a plan before you need it. Let's break this down into three main categories: evacuation planning, emergency supplies, and home preparation.
Creating an evacuation plan is essential. This means mapping out multiple escape routes from your neighborhood, designating meeting points for your family, and having a solid communication strategy in case cell networks are down.
For your emergency supply kit, you'll need important documents, first aid supplies, non-perishable food and water for at least 3 days, a battery-powered radio, and N95 masks for smoke protection.
What about protecting our homes? Many of our listeners live in areas that could be affected by wildfires.
Creating defensible space is crucial. This means maintaining a buffer zone between your home and the surrounding vegetation. Clear leaves and debris from your gutters, remove dead vegetation within 30 feet of your house, and keep your lawn well-watered and maintained.
Let's talk about the resources available in our community. Where can people get real-time information?
There are several reliable sources. First, sign up for Alert LA County System notifications. Follow CAL FIRE on their website and social media channels. Keep an eye on local news stations and connect with your community emergency response teams.
We've received some questions from our listeners on social media. Let's address a few of them.
Many have asked about pet evacuation. Always include your pets in your evacuation plan. Keep their carriers readily available and have extra food and water for them in your emergency kit.
For air quality protection, stay indoors when possible during fire events. Use air purifiers if you have them, and seal any gaps around windows and doors.
Regarding insurance considerations, document your belongings now before any emergency occurs. Take photos or videos of your possessions and keep digital copies in cloud storage.
This has been an incredibly informative discussion. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Yes! I want to emphasize that preparation is key. Don't wait until you see smoke on the horizon to make your plan. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay safe. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to follow us on social media for updates and resources we discussed today. We'll include all the emergency contact numbers and websites in our show notes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our English Learning Podcast. I'm John, and with me is Emma.
Hi, John. Hi, everyone. Today we have a special story for our beginners.
That's right, Emma. Our story is called A Day at the Park. We'll tell the story slowly and explain new words as we go.
Great. Let's begin our story.
It's a sunny Saturday morning. Tom wakes up early.
Let's pause here. Sunny means there's lots of sun. Saturday is a day of the week. Can you say these words with me? Sunny. Saturday.
Good explanation, Emma. Let's continue. Tom is happy because it's not a work day.
That's right. Workday means a day when people go to work. Usually Monday to Friday are work days.
Tom gets out of bed and looks out the window. He sees the sun and blue sky.
Blue sky means the sky is clear, with no clouds. It's a nice day.
Tom thinks it's a perfect day to go to the park.
The park is a place with grass, trees, and sometimes playgrounds where people go to relax or play.
Tom eats breakfast quickly. He has toast with jam and a glass of orange juice.
Let's learn these food words. Toast is bread that is cooked until it's crispy. Jam is a sweet spread made from fruit. And orange juice is a drink made from oranges.
After breakfast, Tom puts on his shoes and takes his ball.
Ball is a round object that people throw or kick when they play games.
Tom walks to the park. It's not far from his house.
Not far means it's close or nearby.
At the park, Tom sees many people. There are children playing, adults reading books, and dogs running.
Let's practice these verbs: playing, reading, running. Can you use these words in a sentence?
Good idea, Emma. Here's an example. The children are playing with a ball.
Excellent. Now, back to our story. Tom finds a nice spot under a big tree.
He sits down and watches the people in the park.
Sits down means he puts himself in a sitting position. The opposite is stands up.
After a while, Tom sees his friend Sarah.
After a while means some time has passed. It's a useful phrase to show time moving in a story.
Sarah is walking her dog. The dog is small and white.
Let's learn some adjectives. Small is the opposite of big. White is a color, like snow.
Sarah sees Tom and waves. She walks over to him.
Waves means she moves her hands side to side as a greeting. Can you show me how to wave?
Good explanation, Emma. Sarah says, "Hi, Tom. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?"
This is a common way to start a conversation about the weather. Isn't it? At the end is asking for agreement.
Tom replies, "Yes, it is. Do you want to play with my ball?"
Tom is inviting Sarah to play. This is a friendly thing to do.
Sarah says, "Sure, but can my dog play too?"
Sure is a casual way to say yes. Sarah is asking permission for her dog to join.
Tom says, "Of course. What's your dog's name?"
Of course is another way to say yes, usually when something is obviously okay.
Sarah answers, "His name is Buddy. He loves to chase balls."
Chase means to run after something. Many dogs like to chase balls.
Tom, Sarah, and Buddy play with the ball for a long time. They throw the ball, and Buddy runs to catch it.
This is a common game to play with dogs. Let's practice these verbs: throw, run, catch.
After playing, they feel tired and thirsty.
Tired means they need rest. Thirsty means they need to drink water.
Tom says, "There's a water fountain near the playground. Let's get a drink."
A water fountain is a place where you can drink water in public places like parks.
They walk to the water fountain and drink some cool water.
Cool here means the water is a little cold, which feels nice on a warm day.
Sarah looks at her watch and says, "Oh, it's almost lunchtime. I should go home."
Lunchtime is the time of day when people usually eat lunch, often around 12 noon.
Tom says, "Me too. This was fun. We should come to the park again soon."
Tom is suggesting they meet again. This is a friendly way to end a nice time together.
Sarah agrees. "Yes, let's do that. Goodbye, Tom."
Goodbye is what we say when we leave someone. There are other ways to say this too, like bye or see you later.
Tom waves goodbye to Sarah and Buddy. He picks up his ball and walks home.
And that's the end of our story, A Day at the Park.
Great job, Emma. Let's review some of the key words and phrases we learned. Sunny, park, ball, play, friend, dog, water fountain, goodbye.
Excellent summary, John. To our listeners, try using these words in your own sentences. Practice makes perfect.
That's right, Emma. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn.
Absolutely. And don't forget to listen to this episode again. Repetition helps you remember new words and phrases.
Thank you all for listening to our A1A2 English story. We hope you enjoyed A Day at the Park.
Join us next time for another fun English learning adventure.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Hello, and welcome to the Artificial Fluency podcast. I'm John, and I'm here with my friend Emma. We're so excited to be celebrating the year 2025 with all of you.
Hi, everyone. Happy 2025. We're thrilled you're joining us today to learn English and celebrate this new year together.
That's right, Emma. The Artificial Fluency podcast is all about helping beginners learn English in a fun and friendly way. And what better way to start the year than with a magical story?
Ooh, that sounds exciting. What's our story about today, John?
Today, we have a special treat for our listeners. We're going to tell a story called The Magical Bookstore. It's a tale full of adventure and surprises, perfect for practicing English.
That sounds wonderful. But before we start, let's remind our listeners of a few important things about learning a new language.
Good idea, Emma. Listeners, remember that learning English is a journey. It's okay if you don't understand every word at first. We'll explain new words and phrases as we go along.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to pause the podcast if you need more time. You can also listen to parts of it again if you want to practice more. Learning takes time and patience.
Great advice, Emma. We want everyone to feel comfortable and enjoy learning English with us.
And remember, every time you listen and practice, you're improving your English skills. That's what we call artificial fluency, gradually building your language abilities through consistent practice and exposure.
Well said, Emma. Are you ready to begin our magical story and start our English learning adventure for 2025?
I'm ready. Let's begin our journey into the magical bookstore.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Lily. Lily loved to read books.
Let's pause here. Once upon a time is how many stories begin in English. It means the story happened a long time ago.
Good point, Emma. And loved to read means Lily really enjoyed reading. What do you love to do, Emma?
I love to cook. How about you, John?
I love to play soccer. Now, let's continue with our story.
One day, Lily was walking home from school. She saw a new store on her street.
The store had a sign that said, Magical Bookstore. Lily was curious.
Curious means Lily wanted to know more. She decided to go into the store.
Inside, there were books everywhere, on shelves, on tables, even on the floor.
An old man stood behind the counter. He smiled at Lily and said, "Welcome, I'm Mr. Page, the owner of this bookstore."
Lily said, Hello, Mr. Page. Your bookstore looks amazing.
Amazing means very good or wonderful. Can you think of other words that mean the same thing?
Good question, Emma. Some other words could be fantastic, great, or awesome.
Excellent, John. Now back to our story.
Mr. Page asked Lily, What kind of books do you like to read?
Lily thought for a moment. Then she said, I like adventure stories.
Mr. Page nodded and walked to a shelf. He took a big blue book and gave it to Lily.
The book's title was The Ocean Adventure. Lily opened the book.
Suddenly, there was a bright light. Lily felt like she was falling.
Let's pause here. Suddenly means something happens quickly and unexpectedly. It's a good word to use when something surprising happens in a story.
That's right, Emma. And falling means moving down quickly, like when you trip and fall down.
Exactly. Now let's see what happens to Lily.
When Lily opened her eyes, she was on a beach. She could see the ocean and hear the waves.
Wow. It seems the book was really magical. It took Lily into the story.
Lily looked around. She saw a small boat on the sand. There was a note on the boat.
The note said, Your adventure begins here. Find the treasure on Turtle Island.
Lily was excited. She pushed the boat into the water and started to row.
To row means to move a boat using oars, which are long pieces of wood. Can you show me how you row a boat, John?
Sure, Emma demonstrates rowing motion. Like this.
Great demonstration, John. I'm sure our listeners can imagine it now.
Lily rowed the boat for a long time. Finally, she saw an island in the distance.
In the distance means far away. Lily could see it, but it wasn't close yet.
As Lily got closer to the island, she saw that it was shaped like a turtle.
This must be Turtle Island. Lily was excited to find the treasure.
She landed the boat on the beach and started to walk. She saw many trees and flowers.
Suddenly, she heard a voice. Hello, adventurer.
Lily looked around. She saw a big turtle talking to her.
A talking turtle? That's very unusual. In real life, turtles can't talk.
You're right, Emma. But remember, This is a magical story. Anything can happen.
That's true, John. In stories, we often use our imagination and create things that aren't real.
Exactly. Now, let's continue with Lily's adventure.
The turtle said to Lily, "To find the treasure, you must answer 3 riddles."
Lily nodded. She was ready for the challenge.
The turtle's first riddle was, "What has keys but no locks, space but no room, and you can enter but not go in?"
That's a tricky one. Do you know the answer, Emma?
I think I do, John. The answer is a keyboard. A computer keyboard has keys and space, and you can enter things on it, but you can't go inside it.
That's correct, Emma. And Lily got it right, too. The turtle was impressed.
For the second riddle, the turtle asked, "What gets wetter as it dries?"
Oh, I know this one. It's a towel. When you use a towel to dry yourself, the towel gets wet.
Excellent, John. Lily answered correctly, too. Now for the final riddle.
The turtle said, "What has a head and a tail but no body?"
This is a tough one. Any guesses, John?
Well, let's think about it. What has a head and a tail but no body? It's a coin.
You're right. A coin has a head side and a tail side, but no body in between.
Lily got all 3 riddles right. The turtle was very happy.
The turtle said, "Congratulations, Lily. You have solved all the riddles. Now, follow me to find your treasure."
Lily followed the turtle to a cave. Inside, there was a big chest.
The turtle said, "Open it, Lily. Your treasure is inside."
Lily opened the chest. Inside, she found books. Lots and lots of books.
Lily was so happy. For her, books were the best treasure in the world.
Suddenly, there was another bright light. Lily closed her eyes.
When she opened them, she was back in the bookstore with Mr. Page.
Mr. Page smiled and said, "Did you enjoy your adventure, Lily?"
Lily nodded excitedly. "It was amazing. Can I come back and read more magical books?"
"Of course," said Mr. Page. "The magical bookstore is always open for those who love to read."
And that's the end of our story, The Magical Bookstore.
What a wonderful story, Emma. I hope our listeners enjoyed it as much as I did.
Me too, John. Now let's review some of the new words we learned today.
Great idea. We learned words like curious, which means wanting to know more about something.
And suddenly, which means something happens quickly and unexpectedly.
We also learned about riddles, which are funny or tricky questions with surprising answers.
Don't forget treasure, which means something very valuable or precious.
These are all great words for our listeners to practice. Can you use one of these words in a sentence, Emma?
Sure, here's a sentence. I was curious about the new restaurant, so I decided to try it.
Excellent. And here's another. The treasure in the story was books, because Lily loved to read.
Wonderful, John. To our listeners, try making your own sentences with these new words. Practice is the key to learning a new language.
That's right, Emma. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn and get better.
Absolutely. We hope you enjoyed today's story and learned some new English words and phrases.
Join us next time for another exciting English learning adventure.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep practicing your English.
John, bye-bye.